what to say in this speech, Brooke and I looked for inspiration in every corner of this school. We interrogated our arty friends, our sporty friends, our sciencey friends, and our somewhere in between friends. We gazed at the houses board, clambered up the tower stairs, and even braved the pippeteer Brooke Link at rush hour to see if we could stir up some inspired thoughts that we could share tonight. In the end, we decided that we could talk about something Brooke and I have discussed with each other a lot. Being head prefect this year has been a bit more of a learning experience than we anticipated. We learned how to wash the school mascot, manage bag checks at school dances, and run impromptu job jam sessions. But as we reminisced, we realised that all our years throughout WC have taught us different lessons, shaping our skills in leadership, communication, and everything in between. Although I don't think we'll ever learn how to properly sing the high note in the school blessing.
It's amazing how fast time flies, and standing up here at the end of Year 13, it feels like only yesterday we sat nervously in the hall for the Year 9 pool footy, got sorted into our form classes, and went off to first period. Looking back, we can all agree that Year 9 was a wild ride from start to finish, filled with questionable side ponytails, the drama of rolled or unrolled sleeves, and constant amazement that we would ever be as old or sophisticated as the Year 13s. Even at the end of Year 13, much to my disappointment, I still feel about as old and sophisticated as I did on the first day of Year 9. But something that has changed is my willingness to embrace change and new experiences. WC is a big pond, no matter how big of a fish you thought you were in Year 8. Whether you came from Raroa or called Cardinal McKeefrey, coming to Year 9 is a huge leap into new classes, new friend groups, and an absolute treasure trove of opportunities. Even though it was terrifying at first, we all learned by the end of it to make the most of all these opportunities. While I was terrified to walk into my first debating meeting in Year 9, about 90% of the things that come out of my mouth these days are debating related. Even though I was initially intimidated and mildly annoyed by the loud girl at my history table, I talked to her nonetheless, and Beth is now one of the best friends I've ever had. My Year 9 Stage Challenge audition was possibly the scariest lunchtime of my life, but directing this year's Stage Challenge has been one of the happiest and most proud moments of my time here at WGC. This school is a never-ending world of opportunities that enables us to take risks and achieve things we never even dreamed of in primary school. The opportunities never stop coming, and the courage and open-mindedness we found in Year 9 continues to guide us into the next chapter of our lives. Thanks to WGC, we'll never stop trying new clubs, meeting new people, and taking new classes.
Despite also being the year of cutting in the canteen line and making it far too clear that we are Year 9s, I found that Year 10 was also the year of learning to be comfortable with myself. Our sleeves were firmly rolled, our hair looked however we wanted it to, and our Facebook timelines were full with like-for-likes. Although I think a few girls in class of 2017 might look back at their Year 10 selves and cringe, at least we learned then how to feel comfortable with who we are now. It may have taken a bit of trial and error, and I know that probably all of us still haven't figured out who we are exactly. But a huge part of the junior school is finding out what you love and embracing those parts of yourself as best you can. This school has kayakers, singers, rock climbers, musicians, debaters, dancers, trampers, and even a few riflewomen. Brooke and I have talked all year about the importance of diversity, but I think the only way a school can achieve this is when the students feel that they can really feel who they are. It doesn't matter if it happens in Year 10 or Year 13, whether it's in the classroom, on the sports field, or through a perfectly captioned post on Instagram. I certainly didn't think I'd be quoting a U2 member in my prize-giving speech, but as Bono said, to be united is a great thing, but to respect the right to be different is maybe even greater. Just make sure to delete your more experimental Facebook posts once you get to Year 13.
Year 11 came with not only the crushing disappointment that there were no Year 11 dancers, but also the toils of NCEA. While the class of 17 was lucky enough to avoid the travesty of the 2016 MCAT, this was a year initially full of stress and pressure for our first year of formal assessment. However, amongst spending ridiculous amounts of time making our cue cards look pretty and trying to cram a year's worth of learning into a day of Learn Coach videos, we learned something nearly as valuable as the Pythagoras theorem. This is the year that we learned that success isn't achieving at the same level as the smartest kid in your class, or receiving excellence on every practice paper you take. Success is achieving to your best ability, and if you've worked as hard as you can, then that's a success regardless of the result. At WGC, if you try your best and achieve to your own potential, you'll be met with pride no matter what, from your friends, your teachers, and your dean. Year 11 is the year that you learn how to be proud of yourself.
It might also be the year of ball drama and the dreaded Level 2 exams, but to me, Year 12 is a year of learning to be brave. Year 12 was the first time we really started looking toward the future, and it took a fair bit of courage to pull ourselves out of the comfort zone that WGC had created. We stood in front of our cohort and pitched ourselves as leaders. We stood in our uniforms, ready to leap into the murky depths of Wellington Harbour, and some of us this year stood at Parliament to call attention to the issues that we hold most close to our hearts. We applied the feminist prose that we had learnt in social studies and English. We emailed MPs and shared social action petitions left, right and centre. But we weren't only doing this as a united group. There's something hugely scary about standing up for yourself for something you believe in when you're not sure if those around you share your opinion, or if they'll even listen to you at all. Gaining that confidence to have conviction in your own beliefs and values is so important, and we've been so proud to see the students doing exactly that this year.
When I look at myself now and put that side by side with my idea of the Year 13s when I was in Year 9, there is the biggest difference. I guess when you actually think about it, there isn't a difference in anything but the way we viewed the Year 13s. You think they've got it all figured out. They know who they are as people, they know what they're doing after high school, and they've figured out the biggest challenge of all, how to dress themselves while avoiding humiliation. But we've realised now that nothing is further from the truth. When you're actually in Year 13, you realise you haven't reached the end of the road, but you've actually only just begun. Although this realisation has terrified us for most of this year, we've come to accept that during your time at high school, you might never feel put together, you might never feel like you know exactly who you are, and you might not know what you want out of life. And that's okay, because Year 13 is the year that you learn that you never stop learning. You never stop finding out more about who you are and what you're capable of. We'll all leave WGC with the confidence to be ourselves, even if we're not quite sure who that is yet. The WGC mission statement is to prepare young women to go out into the world as independent thinkers, with respect for themselves and others, confidence to accept and respond to challenges, and an enduring passion for learning. Looking out at the class of 2017, I see an amazing group of people that embody this to the fullest. A group who will never stop exploring what it means to respect yourself and others, never stop building the confidence to try new things, and never stop developing a passion for learning.
And although it might not fit into a particular stage of high school, Brooke and I have certainly learned to be thankful for what we have here at WGC. To Ms. Herrick, Ms. Holst and the senior management team, thank you for supporting us, exec and all of our cohort this year in every endeavour we've chosen to pursue. It might have taken some trust for Ms. Holst to let us reign over the Year 12 sausage sizzle, or for Ms. Densler to throw caution to the wind and run a House's Hot Chocolate Week. But the SMT's faith in us as leaders and their confidence in our abilities meant that we felt that much better about every challenge we approached, and we are so grateful to have had your assistance this year.
To Mr. Beckett and Mrs. Bryant, thank you for being the most wonderful deans the class of 2017 could have asked for. We're sure it wasn't the easiest job some of the time, or maybe all of the time, but your positivity, humour and advice got us through our 5 years at WGC with very few hiccups. Mrs. Bryant, your gentle kindness and positivity was a sense of comfort for so many of us as shy and timid Year 9s. Mr. Beckett, the guidance you've given us, especially as we embark on our next adventures, is nearly enough to make up for all the times you've roasted me in scholarship history. To Mrs. Davidson, the time and energy that you put into this school is nothing short of incredible. You had 14 other students to look after, yet Katie and I always knew that you were there to supply advice, reassurance, and plenty of non-orange jet planes. Thank you for everything this year.
To the Year 9s, or the class of 2021, thank you for your enthusiasm in every exec week, assembly and peer support session. Brooke and I knew from the start of the year that you guys were the ones we wanted to impress the most, as we were your first head girls, and it was our job to make sure you felt like a part of this community. We hope we've done that in at least some small way, but mostly we've been so proud to see you develop by yourselves into the amazing team of leaders that you are.
And to every student at WGC, thank you for giving us the opportunity to lead such a strong, welcoming and loving community, and allowing us to embrace every part of the school, from the heights of Tower to the depths of Brooke Basement. The school has not only taught us lessons, but given us the tools to thrive and grow on our own terms and through our own means. Wherever you plan to go next year, whether you're staying or leaving, whether you're excited, nervous, a little reluctant or just plain terrified, remember the community you've had here. Remember the strength you've gained from these lessons you've learned. The biology teachers behind us will say that when blood is in your veins, it runs blue, but we think ours is just a little bit more teal. And that will stay with us wherever we go next. Ngā mihi, kia koutou katoa. We'll now like to present the Year 13 Curriculum Awards, read by Assistant Principal Penny Greenwood and presented by the Year 13 Stephen Beckett.